It's your boy King,
Artist or Hexotic Vader, whatever you really want to call me.
finally back with another freaking video. And this one would be, I recorded this video before while the sun was setting at a park. But originally I felt like it was a little bit too depressing. And so we are in the apartment with a very comfy chair, one of my favorite albums right here, a candle, and a big old unorganized mess that I have in my living room. It's just a bunch of art stuff on the floor. But nonetheless, today we're going to be talking about why working feels wrong. And before you ask, I'm reading off of a script. It's on my PlayStation. Here's why working feels wrong, or at least why I believe working feels wrong, especially as somebody that has been through the motions, or has worked their balls off to continuously live or survive at this point in the country or the state that I currently do. Just like the last video, I hope y'all like this crotch action. I'm sorry. Most people don't hate effort. They simply just hate working. And that's a huge difference. That difference does matter, right? Because if humans were lazy, we wouldn't build, we wouldn't create, we wouldn't explore, or we wouldn't even dream on our day offs. But we do, and we do this consistently. So why does working feel so wrong? Not tiring, not difficult, just wrong. Here's the thing that most people don't say out loud, right? That feeling isn't weakness, and it's not a bad feeling. Well, it is a bad feeling to you, but it's not a bad feeling to have. It's awareness. You are aware of the situation that you're in, because we weren't designed for abstract labor. In fact, for most of human history, work was physical, it was visible, and it was meaningful, aka it mattered. You hunted, you built, and you grew something. You gained something from what you did. At the end of the day, you could see what you did, and it directly supported your life. Now, it's like we just move numbers, we answer emails, we stare at screens, and we work towards goals we didn't choose for outcomes we'll never touch. There's not one moment where you step back and say, oh, I made this in my job and this mattered, or I made this in my job and it made me feel fulfilled. I clocked in today for work and I felt great about it. That's so rare. And if you have that, that should be a dream job for you, but do you want to do that forever? And when work becomes invisible, so does meaning. Another reason work feels wrong is because we don't sell effort anymore. We sell time, which is the most expensive currency of all time. Time is the one thing you can never get back. You're paid to be available, not effective. Even when task is done, you can't leave. Even when your energy is completely depleted and gone, the clock isn't done. So you can't clock out. Your life doesn't belong to you during those hours. It belongs to a schedule. And here's where it becomes extremely freaking personal. Back in October, I was sitting in Highland Village, a beautiful place, clean, peaceful, wealthy looking area. The kind of area where everything looks perfect, And though this may not be true, though it may not be perfect, it just looks beautiful. It's perfect, and it's obviously a wealthier, higher economic area than what I'm used to, right? An economically higher area than what I'm used to. And, as I sat there, I was in the passenger seat of a car. I was just looking around and peeping my surroundings, watching people who move different, who live different, because they come from something that I've never had, or they have something that I've never had or ever really seen. I've never driven a car that I truly love, never lived in a neighborhood that made me feel safe and proud, and I don't get any financial help. Even if I ask for it, I have to beg, and even when it's given, I'm reminded that it wasn't wanted. I'm not saying that people that live there have it easy. They probably worked hard to get to where they are, and I respect that. And the reason why I do respect that so much is because they're where I want to be. They're successful. They're free. They're at peace. They're not poor. They have money, basically. For me, it really does bother me because there's so many people like me at my age that feel the same way. They feel like they're behind or something like that. It's just they're unfulfilled with what they do and they're unsatisfied, and it hurts even more because I work every day, and I'm sure whoever's watching this, you probably work every day, and yet I still feel like I don't have I feel like I don't work hard enough, even when I'm exhausted, my eyes are heavy and my body is just completely dead. Just something inside of me is telling me or whispering in my head that you can do more, that I can do more. Every shift in the kitchen, every job I ever had, sweating, pushing through, stalking, lifting, sweating my balls off, getting freaking blackmailed to work doubles from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning. The whole time I've just been feeling this pull, like I'm meant for something more, like I'm meant for something bigger. And the feeling hurts, it's what keeps me alive, but it does hurt. It keeps me striving, but it sucks to feel that way, It feels like lightning in a bottle, and I'm just trying to find a way to break the freaking glass or the freaking glass jar that I'm stuck in. And whenever I make these videos, I feel like I'm breaking that glass. Or whenever I study how to trade, I feel like I'm breaking the glass. Whenever I design something, I feel like I'm breaking that glass. I feel like I'm finding myself. I'm finding my real passion, what I really want to do in my life. But because I'm not making any money for it, it's really hard to stay extremely consistent from this, and that's a problem when it comes to like our generation. A lot of us like to have that instant gratification, and for me, I know that my gratification, that what I want to get is not going to come fast. It's going to take a while, and I'm okay with that. But at the same time, I can't dedicate every hour of my life to that, because that's not going to keep me alive right now. It's not going to keep me afloat. Here's the part that people don't really talk about very much, and people should talk about this. If your parents haven't talked to you about this, then I'm sorry. We're all in this together. You can be working as hard as you possibly can, but making the same money year after year, while everything around you keeps being higher and higher in price, right? And that's just called, of course, inflation. Groceries go up, rent goes up, gas goes up, even rest costs more because you're wasting more time. And at this point, time is money, and I do understand why people say that. So you're not really moving forward. You're just stalemated. You're in a rat race right now. You're running in place. Now let's go ahead and reference some scripture, because I have been diving deep into the Bible, or at least trying to find God or get closer to God, or just be a better person than I was the day before. Scripture once warned that a person can labor endlessly and still never be satisfied. Not because work is evil, but because toil without increase slowly crushes the spirit, or a struggle with no benefit, or work with no benefit slowly crushes the freaking spirit. Everyone around me is always talking about school, right? And I get it. School opens doors. But I don't want to be at the job that I have after school forever, I don't want to wake up every morning, give 40 to 70 hours of my week to a company that doesn't care about me, just to collect a 401k, have the government tax me for it, and then die. That's a way to live, but it's not my way to live, and it probably isn't your way to live either if you're clicking this freaking video. Most of the people I see winning, they didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait to stack a 401k. They didn't wait for a freaking Fortune 500 company to pull up and suck on their wiener. They didn't wait from the validation of a freaking degree, and they definitely didn't wait for a company. They took the risk. They built something, and maybe what this feeling is telling me to do the same thing. Take the risk and try to build something, because I'm tired of being stuck. I'm tired of scraping by, tired of working hard just to stay broke. I've been poor my whole freaking life, moved from place to place, barely surviving, and no matter how hard I grind, it feels like nothing changes. No money, no respect, no I'm proud of you, and philosophers call this futility, or effort without fulfillment. And before this gets misunderstood, let me say this clearly. This does not mean avoid going to work. This is not about avoiding work, okay? Humans were made to cultivate, to build, and to steward. Even the Bible begins with work, okay? Not as punishment, but as purpose. What breaks us isn't effort. It's effort detached from meaning. It's effort with no purpose. Working with no purpose. You get what I'm saying? Or you work your balls off and you have a passion, but you can't pursue your passion because your job is milking your freaking time dry. And as soon as you get out of your job, you're tired as freak, and you feel like you can't do anything, and you're just exhausted. So you feel like you can't put all your effort into something something that you really want to put your effort into. And so what's happening is your job is forcing you to not have the effort that's needed to pursue your purpose. That's what working feels wrong. That's why working feels like buns, because deep down we know this can't be all there is, and you know this isn't all there is. If you're not doing anything but you feel like you should, that's a feeling that tells you this isn't all there is. So maybe the answer isn't to quit everything overnight and just drop everything you're doing right now, but maybe it's not to burn it all down right now. Maybe the leap doesn't start out loud. Maybe it starts small. Maybe it starts quiet. Maybe it's almost invisible. But a decision to stop waiting for permission, a decision to build something after the shift ends, to turn fruition into fuel by people who refuse to believe this is all that life has to offer, is exactly what you need. Typically, it is needed by people who refuse to believe that this is all life has to offer. Your life is not just your job. Your life is not some company that doesn't care about you if you die the next day, okay? And maybe one day, somebody like you or somebody like me will look back at this season, or we'll look back at this current period in our life, and we'll see the exhaustion, we'll see the doubt that we had, the waiting, the patience, the confusion, the uncertainty, and realize that none of it was wasted time. It was exactly what we needed to push forward. It was the moment that you or me finally chose to take that leap. That's basically it. Long story short, I needed to vent. Can you tell I needed to vent? That was a venting session. And if any of y'all can relate to what I've said and feel something from it or feel motivated from it, please like the video. You don't gotta subscribe. I would love for you to subscribe, but all my videos aren't like this. I like to make funny videos. I like to talk about cars and interesting things. I do like to rant about life sometimes, so this is kind of a casual video, but it's usually not this full of emotion. It's usually happy. It's not like miserable. I'm trying to keep it light so it's not depressing. So that's why you got music in the background and stuff like that. But anyways, if y'all like this video, please like the video. If y'all dislike the video, please dislike the video. If y'all F with me, y'all want to stick around, check out more of my stuff, please sub up and hit the freaking bell. Comment in the comment section your thoughts. I will always read them. I read all of them. And thank you for giving me your time. Please don't waste it. Try to be better than you were yesterday, and tomorrow try to be better than you were today. Love y'all. Peace out. This video is too long. It's gonna be a while to edit. Bye bye. Oh, still got the Yoda chalice, by the way. Oh wait, wrong side.
Thank you for watching. You are very pretty. I'm going to suck on your booty. Kenneth is trying to stop the camera, but he cannot get to it because he is short and little and baby man.